Hello everybody, and you're very welcome to this channel, narcscon. On this channel we discuss all things in relation to the narcissistic personality disorder in order to understand what we've been through and to heal going forward and to avoid these types of individuals going forward at all costs. I was just laughing over there. Remy's just gotten on the sofa when I put the equipment out to make a video, and as one of you said there recently, he's probably going, oh no, she's talking about narcissists again. So anyway, let's get into it. This is an email that was sent to me from a member of our community who I've been in touch with from time to time, who's kindly donated to the channel as well. And I would like, in her honour, to read out her email, which she's given me permission to do so, because I think it's important for us to know, because the narcissist doesn't want you to know, that other people are going through this as well. The narcissist wants you to feel that there's something wrong with you individually, uniquely, and in particular. And, you know, when we share our experiences of what it's like to go through narcissistic abuse, it dispels that illusion that the narcissist tries to create, that there's something wrong with you specifically, that you were crazy and that you weren't good enough. So thank you very much for letting me read this entry out of your journal, and I hope I'm going to analyze it as we go through it, and I hope that it resonates with someone out there today who needs to have this experience shared and to hear this. So I'm going to not include names for identification purposes. So the first part of your contacting me is very nice and complimentary, and I'd have to say that, you know, I got this information too initially, and it's very important. So it's, hi Paula, I just wanted to share my latest journal entry with you because I realized with my last paragraph that a part of God's plan for helping me and countless others has been your podcast. And again, there are many other podcasts out there, but I thank you for your words. I realize you may not have the time to read the whole thing, but I wanted to let you know I am truly grateful for the mission you're on. You hear about much worse situations than my particular narc, but still your help has been life-changing, and I know that for others it must be life-saving. And yes, it is life-saving, not my information as such, but getting the information about narcissists. So you've kindly allowed me to read your journal entry, and it's headed up with turning a corner 1 year and 4 months later. The year period, you know, when you've been in a relationship with one of these characters, the year period is a turning point. You may not necessarily feel, you know, whoopee-doo, I'm healed and I'm feeling fantastic, but it's a significant progress point. And any month after that, you make more progress than you would have made in the months, I think, in up to the year phase. That's going on my own experience. So let's get into it. I'll always be shocked at how it all ended so suddenly, and by how much was revealed in the following months, making it not shocking at all that it ended. But I certainly didn't see a lightning bolt coming out of a clear blue sky. That's the shock of the discard. And yeah, it seems very shocking at the time because you're loved up, you're in cognitive dissonance, you're in trauma bond with a narcissist, you believe that they love you and you love them, and that a relationship is going to last for a lifetime. So when they just drop you like a hot potato, it's very, very shocking. But then when you go on, if you're lucky enough to get this information, so please share the vids if you can at all, if it's appropriate for you to do so, and support the work of this channel and other channels, please. So if you get the information and then you realize what was actually going on the other person's, on the narcissist's part in the relationship, it's not shocking at all, and you've beautifully expressed that. It is now over a year of enlightenment and reckoning, and I feel like I have turned a corner in my healing journey. Things don't feel as bleak and broken as they did in the beginning, and I feel like I'm going to be all right. Praise God. despite the fact that I don't have any other real friendships in my life at the moment. Being alone is better than what I was dealing with for so long. They're very true words. Being alone is better than the torture of a relationship with a narcissist when you're in the devaluation period with them. Of course, I am still sad that I had to discover that a 3 decades friendship was completely one-sided. I loved, and then it's the person's name. But I now know that her proclamations of love were a lie. She said what she had to say to manipulate me, and all of the sweet little cards and gifts were part of the game she was playing. Real love requires respect, empathy, and celebrating the other person's good qualities and achievements. Maybe real love is not always equal, because there are times when one person needs a little more and the other person has to give. But you are there for each other. And true love can take a few hits and disappointments. But when one takes advantage of tolerance and forgiveness and has no remorse for horrible behaviour, it's time to move on. And that's really important. When one takes advantage, a narcissist will always take advantage of your tolerance to their bad behaviour and your forgiveness of it. So that's the way you were made. That's the type of person you are. But you have to put in boundaries. That's a quality you have, to be tolerant of something that's not right or to forgive easily. That's a quality that must not be as pearls before swine, must not be wasted, must be protected. My goal moving forward is to avoid toxic people and to avoid giving too much or getting my hopes up about other friendships. And then you mention your brother. So I'm going to change the name here. I know you said it's not necessary, but Paul said that I need to learn how to have casual friendships. Sadly, this is true. I've always thought the goal in life is to have deep and meaningful relationships, and I still hope for that, but I'm trying to embrace the casual friendships. Some friendships are casual. The very special ones can be deep and meaningful. So yeah, don't give up on the deep and meaningful relationships just because, well, not just because, but because of one devastating experience. I feel that as I move forward, away from the dysfunctional, and you mentioned the name of the narcissist, years, I'm going to come back into myself, who I was before I met her. Just an older and wiser version. There is a certain freedom and joy in this, and I'm going to embrace that. And then you mentioned the narcissist name. The narcissist will always be there, a part of my history. There are even fond memories of some of the good times we had, because we truly did have good times. Yes, yes, you can celebrate those good times, but they were really because of you and your input into those good times and your experience of them. For a narcissist, the good times are a manipulation, unfortunately. The good times, they enjoy it for a different reason. They enjoy it because they feel powerful, that they know you're enjoying it and having a really good time and getting more and more bonded to them and under control. Unfortunately, it's a different, the narcissism and the narcissistic personality disorder puts these human beings into nearly a different species category of their experiences and the way they experience life and the way they get their needs met. Okay, the good times. And I will always pray for her that God will shine a light in her heart and show her the truth and restore her humanity. This is so typical of an experience with a narcissist. Really? They haven't displayed humanity, they've displayed the opposite. It sounds like you're at a good stage here, a really good stage. It's hard to get to this stage when you can feel compassion. I am not sure what happened to her that caused her to go down a devious, dark path with the one person in the world who truly loved her. So that part I give over to God to heal. I feel sorry for what a miserable person she must be deep inside to have to play cruel games with me in order to feel good about herself. And as for me, I am still broken-hearted that I had such low self-esteem that I let her railroad me, steamroll me, and mistreat me for 3 decades before I woke up. Such introspection here of a true heart. But I forgive myself for that because I loved her. That truly made me blind, and I was lonely with no other close friends, which made me an extremely tolerant person, probably over-tolerant and over-grateful for the attention that she would have given you, which made you easy to control. Normally, narcissists will isolate their targets so that the target or the person that the narcissist is trying to get under control or to love them doesn't have validation from anywhere else and doesn't have any other friends speaking the truth, and they're just makes the person that the narcissist is targeting much more malleable. So you would have been a prime candidate for the narcissist. But as I became more confident the last few years, I was aware that the love had slowly dissipated from my heart. I knew that if I had any other good friendships in life, I would have dumped her sorry ass years ago. That's interesting. You were beginning to come into yourself. You were beginning to become less tolerant of the abuse. You were beginning to start to like yourself or love yourself more. And this is also an unfortunate twist because that's a healthy way to be. But just as you get healthy and put in boundaries, the narcissist will dump you. And the reward for your healthiness is a lot of pain. So that's what a lot of people can't get around. It's a twisted outcome to your improved, healthy mental state. And it takes a bit of understanding to get over that and understand that even though it caused you a lot of pain, the self-love and the boundaries that you put in are actually ultimately going to save your life and give you an enhanced, beautiful life and an awakened life that you could never possibly imagine. But that pain is the catalyst, and understanding it is so essential because a lot of people then think when they go through the pain, they revert and beg the narcissist to come back and put those boundaries and self-requirements and self-care onto the back burner in order to have the narcissist back in their lives. Okay, but I had no other friends. I had no other friends and didn't want to dump the only close friendship I had, even if it wasn't a very good one. And that's really what I've just said there a few minutes ago. And she kept saying she loved me and felt like we were sisters. Her behavior didn't match her words, but I really wanted to believe her words. Of course, we really do want to believe when we hear somebody speaking beautifully about us or to us or of their love for us. It is so hard. It is so hard because we're not built like this, to not believe what the person is saying to our face. It is so hard, but it is so necessary to understand that the words must be followed up with loving actions. Otherwise, the words are like the whistle of a snake charmer. They are used to beguile us and to deceive us. And it is the worst type of deceit, to tell a person you love them and then to abuse them. Well, the old adage, actions speak louder than words, is absolutely true. My actions showed her I loved her, breaking down and calling her, even though she never called me, listening to her talk for over an hour after my initial 5 to 10 minutes of conversation was over. Narcissists don't want to hear about you. Initially, they want to hear all about you because they want to pull you in, make you believe they're really interested in you, invested in you, make you feel that you're the most interesting person in the world, that they've never met anybody like you, that you're so fascinating. And maybe you are fascinating, but this person doesn't believe you're fascinating. They just want you to believe they think you're fascinating. They also want to information gather about you at the beginning stage, because all the evidence and everything you say will be held against you at a later date. So yes, when you're in the devaluation phase, the narcissist will pin you down to have a conversation, but the conversation will not be two-way. It'll be all about the narcissist. So these are a follow-on of what you did, your actions that showed you loved her, planning all our trips and paying more for my portion. Oh, yes. That, my friends, is a very familiar facet of most common narcissists' behavior. It's the disproportionate financial input in the relationship. They will always have an advantage financially unless you happen to meet a very well-off narcissist who uses money as a control tool. Doing all of the driving, hauling her heavy luggage in and out of motel rooms because of her bad back, in inverted commas. Always sleeping on the pull-out sofa and giving her the bed. Always doing what she wanted to do on our outings. Shopping being her favourite activity. Wanting to be on the go and entertained constantly when I would have liked to relax. Well, I guess you started to put in some boundaries when you became very exhausted towards the end of the friendship, and that was a no-no for her, and off she went. Trying to enjoy drinking wine and mixed drinks with her, even though they always made me feel like crap. Always watching the movie or show she wanted to watch. Always doing the art projects she was interested in. Just think of the thousands of dollars I spent on jewellery and beading supplies. And the things I held back. Never playing my guitar or singing much on any of our trips because she would get that tight, annoyed look on her face. Anytime you would want to do something that would express your own self-identity or be getting validation or joy or fun or happiness from anything that is not caused by or of the narcissist means that you're slipping from their control. That is why people find it so difficult, because you've been groomed to always reference the narcissist for any emotional that you feel. People find it so difficult when they're dropped out of the airplane by the narcissist on the discard to function properly again, because they don't know what to do without the narcissist. It's insidious, it's subtle, and the most intelligent people can be groomed by a narcissist. So do not feel stupid for having come under this type of abuse. Okay, learning to hold in my ideas and opinions because they were always put down and devalued by her. Yeah, you stop kind of putting forward your opinions because you know you're going to get slapped down and it just becomes not worth it. So again, you stop generating your own opinions and ideas and become zombie-like. That's the only way I can describe it. Never calling her out on her snooty comments and rude noises she would make, including mocking my mannerisms and even my laugh. Geez, I put up with a lot of SH. So no, I don't think I'm really going to miss the narcissist presence in my life that much. The trauma and healing I've been going through has mostly been about accepting the truth of what she is, of what our relationship was, and of how overly tolerant I am. But I finally grew up. I was 58 years old when the monster within the narcissist forced me to reckon with it. Yes, darkness can be disguised in what you see as light. I pray that from now on, the Lord will give me vision to see the truth. Sorry, I have an active boy there in the background. He likes to rearrange the cushions on the sofa and sometimes puts them off the sofa with his nose. Oh my God, aren't our pets just beautiful? God really is the only one who has gotten me through this, as no one else in my life has been able to truly understand what dealing with a covert narcissist has been like, with their heart all entangled with something evil masquerading as their loved one. And when I asked you then for permission, you know, to read your journal entry out, you kindly came back and gave the opinion. And I'd just like to read this out also, because this is what a lot of people experience from their loved ones who are trying to help them get through the experience of having had a relationship with a narcissist and being discarded by one. But they don't get it. A lot of people that haven't been through, maybe most people that haven't been through this experience, will not get the subtleties of every ingredient of a recipe that the narcissist has concocted with you, because the narcissist entangles in so many areas of your brain with double twists and double meanings and triple twists and triple meanings. And to understand the excruciating pain of unraveling all that you go through with the narcissist that is so hard to actually even put in words is not possible for someone who hasn't experienced that really to understand properly. Theoretically, they can understand it and explain it, but this is so succinct. So sometimes people will, in trying to help you, try to give you their version of, you know, how to go through life. And while they mean well, we must stand in our own truth in relation to the experience we've experienced and validated for ourselves at the end of the day. So that's why I'm going to read this out. Paula, I am of the opinion that if our experiences can help someone else, we should share them. So I would be okay with you reading whatever part of my journal you think might help folks. And then you say the name of your brother. Paul is my brother. I'm changing the name there. He claimed he could tell my relationship with the narcissist was toxic all along. And you will get that from family. You know, they will say that they felt there was something wrong. But I certainly never heard him say he was concerned. A lot of people, a lot of family don't. Because if they do, oftentimes the narcissist, if you then go back to the narcissist and say, you know, Paul has said, maybe, you know, why would you do that? The narcissist will then turn on the family member or friend and isolate you from them more so, and then turn on the family friend or family member and do a smear campaign on them and really turn you against them. So a lot of the times, maybe they should have said something to you privately, but you're so under the spell of the narcissist that it's dangerous there to interfere, and it can often backfire on the person that wants to help. So it's better for the person that wants to help to not go against the narcissist, hard as that is, but to support the target of the narcissist in bolstering their confidence and being there just to support them and to keep a sense of reality for that person. Okay, but I certainly never heard him say he was concerned. The narcissist happened to be very good looking, so the only thing I ever heard him say about her was, wow. He also thinks that although my friendship seemed toxic, he thinks calling her a covert narcissist is overboard. This is so typical, guys, and we'll often get this. We'll often get this in the comments. You know, you'll see comments saying, oh, I saw one recently saying, oh, all you women who have failed relationships just want to call men covert narcissists. And on 2 points, you know, that's just ridiculously stupid. because a lot of us don't want to, we want the relationship that we had not to have been with the narcissist to be real. And also there are so many men who've had relationships with female covert narcissists. But there you go, these comments are left and they must be looked at for what they are. Person hasn't experienced it. Person could be a narcissist. Person is ignorant, in my opinion. Okay, he said he thinks calling her a covert narcissist is overboard, essentially because it's the latest thing, in inverted commas, that everyone is talking about, so that I have just jumped on the bandwagon. Now, he's your brother, probably not trying to put you down, but, you know, these type of opinions are unhelpful. So stick to the reality of what you've been through. Stick to what you know is true, and forgive him for not understanding fully. But you don't need to be hearing too much more of that type of kind of plumosing of you and, you know, saying, ah, wasn't that bad, it'll be fine. You get over it, just move on, move on. You know, I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard that. It's just the end of a relationship. These things happen. Person's not so bad. They might have a few problems. People have no idea. They have no idea, and probably it's not their fault. They're just doing what they think is right. I don't think so. Too many NPD traits applied to this narcissist treatment of me. But of course, like you say, they aren't the type of people that are going to go in and get diagnosed. Exactly. So, you know, where people say, you can't diagnose them, you're not a psychologist. Even psychologists and psychiatrists can't diagnose them sometimes. They're that good at deceit. They're that good at knowing what to say. This is what they do. This is their life's work, manipulating people. This is the way they live. They live and breathe it as you and I would live and breathe some type of imperfect humanity. Anyway, yes, feel free to read any portion of my journal entry. Okay, yeah, but leave out her last name. And I doubt very much she is tuning into YouTube videos on narcissism, or that she would get any connection if she did. And I was able to forgive my narcissist and even pray for her, with no intention of ever going back to that relationship. But I know that may be a tall order from folks who have really suffered from more toxic and sociopathic narcissists. What a lovely person. I love people in our community. It's so reassuring to know that there are good, normal people out there who have the capacity to introspect and see where they could have done better, see how they were vulnerable to one of these individuals getting into their life and trying to destroy it. So thank you so much for sharing that, for taking the time to write to me, and for also allowing other people a little bit of insight into what you went through in your relationship and your recovery journey, what you're discovering and how you're progressing, and the fact that there is hope. The fact that when someone is, like if you've been just left 2 days ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, and you're still feeling dysregulated hormonally and all over the place and in survival mode or not even able to get out of bed, please have hope. Take little steps. Have that shower today. Contact someone that loves you. Make a good meal for yourself. Walk around the house if you can't leave the house. You keep putting those little steps together and you are going to be fine. I promise you, I know how devastating it is. There are so many people out there that can support you. Leave a comment to say you need help. Stick with it. It'll get better. And if you go through the pain barrier, it'll get fantastic. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Guys, I will see you again soon. Thank you so much for letting me share this. Take very good care of yourselves until the next time. Bye for now.